It's time for To the Max Sports, where we talk about sports. They're just two guys, Max and Drew, in a bar talking all things sports. Well, without the bar. And the beer. Wait, why aren't we in the bar?
Hello, and welcome to the Max Sports. Y'all know what time it is. Time for To the Max Sports.
What time is it? Because I've been working so hard the last couple of days, I have no idea what time it is.
We had time last Sunday. Me and Bob went to a place down the road to watch the XFL, our San Antonio Brahmas, who pulled out a win and didn't give it away like they did the week before. And we kind of fell into a fight. We had talked about we haven't watched a fight in years, and I hadn't, other than maybe some UFC stuff. But
I've seen some stuff on the corner down here.
Yeah, right. But the actual boxing match, I thought it was entertaining. What do you think?
I thought it was entertaining, but it was very much a, and not to
we're talking about the Tommy. Just so people know the
Tommy Fury.
Yeah, Tommy Fury
and the
Paul fight.
My biggest takeaway was I was looking at a fighter, an actual boxer in Fury who looks like a boxer, boxes like a boxer, and sorry, Mr. Paul, this is kind of my take on you. You kind of look like a redneck with a mullet who probably shouldn't be in a ring.
Well, I don't know. One of the judges had Paul winning the fight by 3 rounds.
But that was crazy because the other two judges had Fury by a wide margin.
Well, one had it,
I think they both had 76-73.
Yeah, I had it 75-74. And that was only because you had to do the 2-point scoring system on the knockdown. I take away that knockdown, and it wasn't really a close match.
Which on the replay, in live, it looked like a slip. On the replay, it was a knockdown.
Just to let you guys know, anyone that's under 40 years old has no clue what we're talking about.
I'll tell you what.
The sport of kings.
Yeah, but they don't.
No, there's a lot of kids. Because this Paul kid's, I guess, a social.
He's a YouTube star.
Influencer, YouTube,
And then he took up boxing.
Well,
so we were probably the old heads in the room.
But that's my whole point. It has to be someone that's YouTube influencer, right. And boxing is kind of taking a back seat to UFC. But
from the golden days.
So for those of you people that have endured this for the last 3 minutes, we're going to move on.
Yeah. I do have some breaking news. Aaron Rodgers is still holding out and waiting.
I don't care.
Yeah, I think that's kind of one of those things that Green Bay should just say, look, enough's enough. Let's get it done. Trade him, do what you need to do. I mean, this guy goes into a dark room for 4 days, comes out in 2 days, says he's thinking about it. He needs better players. They get him what he needs. I'm done with Aaron Rodgers, to be honest with you.
And have you guys seen pictures of the room he was in? I mean, with the lights on, but
yeah,
it didn't look all that bad.
It wasn't that bad, and he's now. I think he does it for every Tuesday. More ratings with his little partner there.
Oh, McAfee.
Yeah, of course.
It's not the McAfee show; it's the Aaron Rodgers show
on Tuesdays. Yeah,
it's the McAfee and Rodgers world, and we're just players in it, man.
To be honest, we're talking about Aaron Rodgers right now. But right now, if I were any team like the Jets, for example, that's looking for a quarterback, try not to overthink Carr, because this guy, from what happened to him last year, I say that is because what happened to him last year, he is going to go, and he's on a mission. Whatever team he's going to go on, I'm not saying he's going to be great for 3 years, but he's going to be damn good next year.
You really think so? Because I don't think so. I mean, I think, possibly that's offensive problems at Las Vegas that have hurt him, but statistically, he's just slightly better than Dak Prescott.
You team him up with the Jets, better receivers, better running game, and an awesome defense.
But it's the Jets.
Yeah, but look at the conference they play in. You stick Carr in that offense, now we have a good team. Good team.
I know I'm a homer for this gentleman, but I think right now on the open market, absent Aaron Rodgers, it's Jimmy Garoppolo. Other than availability, Jimmy Garoppolo is a better quarterback than Derek Carr.
I would take Derek Carr, honestly. My personal opinion.
Yeah, I would probably take Carr.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Garoppolo he's a proven journeyman. Derek Carr is not a proven journeyman yet. There's a reason why Garoppolo there's always talk about, we got him this year and then we'll move on.
Well, no, I mean, he played the loyal backup and he played well. Go back and watch that Super Bowl with the Chiefs. Looked really good. Really good. He could have won that game. I think their defense the defense let him down. So I think Garoppolo is a better choice.
Yeah, but now you're going back 4 years.
I still think Garoppolo is a better choice.
Well, I think injuries are catching up to him. So.
And then that's another situation. Carr's not injured, and Garoppolo's coming off an injury.
Another one.
I do say that San Francisco though is in the best shape heading into the draft. They got a quarterback problem with 3 quarterbacks that potentially could start in the NFL.
Who's the third?
How many teams could say that?
Oh, you mean, are you putting Garoppolo in this conversation?
Yeah.
Garoppolo's gone. Garoppolo's gone. Just forget about Garoppolo in San Francisco. Garoppolo's gone.
No, what I'm saying is they're in a great position to have 3 quarterbacks on their team that they could move around, that could start for any.
Yeah, they're not keeping Garoppolo, and the word is that Purdy's inflammation hasn't gone down as fast as they would like, so they're putting off the surgery a little bit. So he may not be ready for week 1.
But they're talking a year because it takes how long for that surgery for him to recuperate?
No, it wasn't. No, they ruled out Tommy John surgery.
Oh, okay.
It's just going to be the bracing, which is a 6-month recovery, but they have to wait a little bit more.
Could be 9 months.
No, it's 6 months. It's a straight 6 months. 3 months before you can throw. You can start throwing in 3 months, and then you'll be fully recovered in 6 is the recovery.
So what we're saying is we have one quarterback for San Francisco.
Trey Lance, which has always been my prediction for who's going to start week 1 next year or this year.
Okay.
It is this year now. Jesus.
Okay.
So who starts for the Packers next year? Love or?
No, it's Love. I think.
I said, I don't care.
Okay, moving on. So we do have a draft coming up. So
Yeah, the combines are today. I read something in here where a defensive.
Oh, the underwear Olympics?
yeah, the underwear Olympics. Defensive
Underwear
end ran
Olympics.
4.3, 4.39.
Yeah.
Yeah, his stock is starting to rise a little bit.
Although
Speaking, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was
I
going
was
to
just
ask.
going to say, you can't measure hard. I mean, sometimes they get so wrapped up into speed, and I understand that's important.
Yeah, it's the underwear. It's the underwear Olympics.
It is
But
the underwear Olympics.
Well, Drew, with that being said, that's why this year we have a Hall of Famer going in. You couldn't measure his heart at Texas Tech, and all he did is get drafted in the later rounds for the Miami Dolphins. Now he's a Hall of Famer, Zach Thomas. I mean, this guy led the league in
Perfect
tackles.
example.
Yeah, he was too short. He was too slow.
Too white.
Well, to everything, and all he did is make play after play after play. So,
I mean,
What do you even think about the old linebacker from for Dallas? Asian American guy.
that win.
Another guy.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's such a crapshoot for me at the top of the draft, and right now the quarterback market is so tight. I think some of these guys that are going to drop to the back half of the first round in the quarterback position probably shouldn't be in the first round.
You know the wild card, the project, and I think everyone's looking for the Mahomes now, kind of the kid in the draft that he's got some upside, but can he develop? Remember that was the talk about Mahomes when he actually Kansas City loved him. That's when they got him at 10. But this Anthony Richardson, I've watched this kid play, and he's got some wheels, man. He's a big, strong kid with some wheels, and it'll be interesting to see if he goes. I don't know if I'm not big on Stroud. I'm telling you.
Really?
I would take the Alabama kid over Stroud.
Really, even though Young is smaller.
I just think he's got a more durable NFL body.
You're talking about the Alabama kid?
Yeah,
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young is a small kid. He's the one that they're talking about. There's
But Stroud's a small kid too.
I mean, is he a is he the second coming of Tua? I mean, we see where Tua is right now, and I think a lot of Tua's injuries are the fact that Tua is small.
Well, there's 2 of them. You got Tua, and then you got what's his name from the Cardinals.
Oh, Kyler,
Who
who should have played baseball.
he should have played baseball now.
But I do think.
Oh, that's a shit show in Arizona right now.
It is.
But I do think the big unknown is this Richardson, and I think he'll definitely go third. But who do you take? If you're the Texans, who's your quarterback?
Well,
Which one do you take? Do you take Young or Stroud? I'm going with Young. I'm going with Young for several reasons. One, I just think he's got a stronger arm.
I mean, right now, Kuiper on his mock draft has Bryce Young going to the Texans in a trade with the Bears.
Well, that means I'm screwed because that guy can never get shit right anymore.
That's if they trade. The Texans have more than a problem at quarterback.
They
And
got a good defense. I mean, their defense kept them in a lot of games this year.
yeah,
But they did have some offensive woes.
they don't have a receiver really. The one that they do have wants to get out of there. Tight end, they need help. Linemen, they need help on the line, defense and offense. They got a good running back. Their secondary's suspect sometimes. They need a lot of help to get. If they get this quarterback that you're talking about, which I think they might go that route, they're going to have problems with him. He won't make it 3 years. So,
You don't think Bryce Young will make it?
I would take some linemen if I were the Texans, offense or defense, and then build from in out because these guys have a lot of issues.
I know in today's NFL, though, it just seems even if it's a subpar quarterback year for drafts,
I think
that teams just are too scared to pass on
Well, and
elite SEC
he
or
didn't
Big
pick up.
Ten
He didn't pick
quarterback.
up on my clue. So let the Texans be horrible for 3 years. Excuse me, for 2 years, and then you have a kid that's just going to take a Highway 290, and then just run across and be a Texan. Arch Manning.
possibly. I mean, we have to see Arch Manning's development.
You're assuming they'll be the worst team in the NFL in 2 years.
If they take a quarterback, they're going to be. If they don't, they're still going to be. They're not that good. Name me a Pro Bowler they had.
I think it's a problem franchise. I think for me, them, the Bears, there's a couple franchises out there that, despite these guys being professionals in their front office, they just can't seem to make the right decisions. And the one thing, I've heard this talk about the Bears moving on from Justin Field and all that stuff. And if the Bears front office moves on from Justin Fields and trades and picks up one of these guys, that is a ride or die decision by their front office.
They're going to get fired.
If it doesn't work out, you are fired.
But, okay, so let me ask you this, and it is kind of tempting. Say they're in a position to get the quarterback they want. I don't know which one it is. I would say probably Bryce Young. And a team offers 2 first rounds, 2 seconds, and you get your quarterback and you get, you move Justin Fields down the road. Justin Fields just suddenly came out last week and said he doesn't like playing in cold weather.
Sure. Well, how many games has Bryce Young won in the NFL?
But he comes from good quarterback stock.
Oh, everybody
It's
does.
Alabama.
Everyone does when they're in college. They all come from great stock. Everybody comes from Alabama. The most famous or who's the most successful Alabama quarterback in the last 10 years? Tua? How about
Tua.
that kid from Philadelphia? What's his name?
Jalen Hurts.
Oh, but he had one good year. Last year, the year before.
Though I will say this, Jalen Hurts has matured into a quarterback
there you go.
that he wasn't when he was at Alabama. He was benched because he couldn't throw the ball downfield.
That's because he went to Oklahoma and learned that.
Which gives me the point I was going to make. This Anthony Richardson, 6'4", runs like a gazelle, good arm, a little rough around the edges.
That's where I would roll the dice.
He could be the hidden gem.
That's where I would roll the dice. The first 2 games, Ohio State and Alabama haven't proven to me that they can actually get a good quarterback out there that can be a franchise quarterback. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, you hit it. Would I roll the dice with this? Yeah, if you do, then you have a Jalen Hurts on your hand. And you strike gold or Patrick Mahomes. You might have that with this kid.
Don't sleep on Will Levis from Kentucky.
Oh, yeah.
He's 1 inch.
Yes.
He's programmed 1 inch shorter than Richardson. Same weight.
Yeah, that's another one.
And there you go. Well, and the Cowboys are looking at, and I don't think he's going to be I don't think he's going to be a starter, but the Cowboys are looking at TCU's, not because he's namesake, but Max Duggan. And And I don't know about that kid. He had a good year, but I just don't see it.
No, and Stetson Bennett for all the love at Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett, not a first rounder. I still think he drops to the fifth, no higher than the fifth for me.
Yeah, this kid that got the gun charge, I'm sure his stock's going to drop. Maybe he could fall down, and a team like the Bengals or the Cowboys can get him.
Jalen Carter, still projected in the top 5.
Oh, you're talking about the racing.
You think they're willing to
the racing death? The racing related. Not a gun charge. The gun charge is the basketball player for Alabama.
Yeah, okay.
And what did he do wrong?
He provided the gun or something. That whole thing.
Picked him up.
The racing charge.
Anyway, yeah, Jalen Carter's the racing charge.
I think that one's probably a little bit draft friendly than a gun charge, but
well, it's still it's a homicide, or it's a death. It's at least manslaughter. So we'll see where it goes. This is kind of my thought on.
He's going to drop.
I think he's going to drop because for me it's the image of, if you're the owner, you got to stand there on draft day and put your arm around this guy and go, "This is our guy," and then the family of the dude that died is going, two dudes that died is going, "What are you doing?" And that's going to be egg on face. It's the whole reason why Trevor Bauer, I don't think, is ever going to pitch in the major leagues ever again.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because no owner is going to put their arm around him.
Yeah. Well, he will get drafted, but like you said, maybe after the television cameras have gone away, third round, fourth round.
I don't think he drops that far. I mean, the one nice thing about the NFL.
The first 2 days, the cameras are going to be on, and someone's going to put an arm around him.
Yeah, but
he's going to be putting on a hat.
But at some point, some general manager is like, okay, let's take the distraction. Let's take the media hit. He'll drop, but I don't know if he'll drop that far.
Jerry Jones?
Jerry Jones loves some of his players, even the violent ones.
I think they're going to still try to go for Johnson, BJ, or
I've also heard some rumblings that some people are talking about the Cowboys going and picking up a running back in the first round, which I think is utterly stupid.
That's what I'm talking about. The kid from Texas.
I think that'd be brilliant. I think you cut your losses with Zeke.
Yeah, he's gone.
You let Pollard go, enter the market. You never know what's going to happen with this injury he has, and you're going to have to pay him. And then you get a rookie deal on a Bijan. I think it'd be a brilliant.
Not in the first round. No. Not in the first round. There's hardly ever a generational talent in the running back position in the draft. We don't have a Derrick Henry in the draft.
But you don't need a generational talent.
See, and that's the reason why I don't pick somebody in the first round. I just wait till the third or the fourth. I pick up a cog.
Well, Bijan is NFL ready.
He is, and he's
and they will need a running back to take the pressure off of Zeke. Whatever pressure
you're talking about Dak.
Or Dak, I mean.
No, you're right. I agree with you 100%. I think they should take him because they need to pick up a receiver in free agency, and then they need to get a running back and fix that offensive line. that defensive line a little bit. Bring that up.
Would you cut your losses with Zeke at this point?
Oh, yeah, he's gone. He's gone today.
Would you let Pollard just go ahead and get the free agent?
Really? You think
Zeke?
Oh, Zeke. I thought for some reason I thought you said Dak.
Oh, no, Zeke. Zeke is done.
Zeke is done.
I think Pollard is too. I think they let him walk.
Pollard, I think what they're going to do with him, honestly, is they're going to franchise him.
They don't want to pay.
For 1 year, they can franchise him and then see if he's good. And if he is good, then you have 2 good running backs, and you're going to need
franchise him. Then you don't go get a running back.
I wouldn't franchise a running back. I just go find another running back.
Yeah, they're a dozen nowadays.
They're out in the backyard. Who cares?
Kansas City showed that last year.
Yeah.
I was like, how do they keep doing that?
I mean, statistically, if you look at Elliott's stats, he was no better than the average running back in the NFL.
He's done. He is just. I didn't know he was in the league. Was it 7 years now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's made his money. He can go give some of that to the Salvation Army for allowing him to use the bowl.
He's done. Absolutely. Can we talk about the kind of go back a little bit with the NBA and all the successful trades and moves they made?
Oh, the crazy trade week?
You like the Durant move?
You know what? I like the Durant move. I do. I do not like the Kyrie move because now my Mavericks are down to 7th. And I'm watching the team. I don't know what's wrong with them. The Lakers, if with all the moves they made, that was pretty good.
The Lakers have gotten better.
But now he's hurt. I'm talking about LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron tendon injury.
LeBron, he's showing his age. He's starting to break down now. Have you noticed there's just injuries every other week?
I mean, everyone's speculating. He's hanging in to play with Bronny.
Bronny, yeah. Couple more years.
We'll see. I mean, they'll make the playoffs. I think the Lakers will make the playoffs. I think they improved at the trade deadline.
They did.
My Spurs keep doing what they need to do and lose so we can hopefully get that kid from France.
Victor Wembanyama.
Victor. Now, what happens if Houston gets Victor?
Well, we don't.
Then we we have a chance at Scoot.
That's where I was going. He's good.
Yeah.
I like him.
See, Bob's been preaching both of them. He said they're both.
I think they're. I always have a problem with a 7-foot pluser, and I actually think his program height is shorter than what he really is.
We'll talk about Scoot for a minute.
No, I was forming a cohesive thought. So I would prefer Scoot, but
like I said, those guys you can pick up. Wembanyama, a guy that you don't. I've never seen 7'2" guys do what this kid does. I haven't.
Yeah, he's a. I mean, I've heard him described as a 7'2" Kevin Durant.
Yeah, or I say even Steph Curry.
He's a little
busting threes from. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's a little thin-ish. He's going to need to fill out to play with men.
Mm-hmm. And they're doing that because they've hired people to work with them on the team. They actually picked up.
Yeah, they're all ex-NBA players. The only reason they are there is to prepare for Wembanyama.
And that's what they're doing.
But think about this: when you got a center you can pull out, put on the 3-point line, and then the opposing team has to bring their center out to. I mean, look at the
he's good.
Just him by being able to position himself anywhere on the court opens it up for so many of his teammates. That's the thing that's just amazing.
Which is the reason why a lot of NBA traditionalists looked at 3-point rule and go, worst thing that ever happened to the NBA. It's gotten rid of the big guy on the inside.
It did, but I think that the more of the younger eyes and viewing audience is watching it, likes it.
All they want to see is scoring.
I know everyone wants to.
It's
see
the
scoring.
TikTok generation. Go shoot a tray and.
I mean, I know this is heresy, and Jeff, who you do a pod with, what's the name of Jeff's show?
The Unrestricted.
The Unrestricted. He's a big NBA fan. To me personally, the NBA's become,
you say fan, I say nerd.
Well, to me, it's become unwatchable. It's unwatchable. I'm sorry. Maybe the playoffs when there's a little defense, but
Can I ask a question about? We're kind of wrapping up on Victor. My only question to that is, when he's in the NBA, let's talk about his third, fourth year, and watch his body. If his body can hold up, meaning he's going to start growing into his body, but that's when that big man, name me a big man that didn't have a problem.
Yeah, but all those big men that have had problems, I think, came into the league as big men. They weren't thin and filled out. I mean, Durant was that way. When he came in the league, he was a skinny little thing.
He still is.
Well, skinny-ish.
And he's very, like you said, that's a great analogy. Durant and just add 6 inches, 7 inches.
Yeah.
But
they
Durant,
say when he takes his arms, he's got an 8-foot wingspan.
He can
from wingtip to wingtip.
He can touch the rim with his feet on the floor.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I remember Durant was dominating when he was a freshman at UT. He was dominating. This guy's still in Europe. We'll see. Yep. I think that Spurs should kind of, okay, if they get him, we're good.
Well, he plays for a team in France that's owned by another Frenchman that was pretty good for the Spurs.
Yep.
Tony Parker.
Well, right now we are 5 games ahead or behind the 4th worst team in the NBA. So we're in the top. Looks like we're going to be in the bottom 3, which means we're going to have the same chance. All the bottom 3 teams have the same chance for that top bingo ball.
It's going to be a nerve-wracking night because, can Lightning strike 3 times? Very hard. Robinson, Duncan.
Yeah, and the other thing is if you're an NBA fan, on that night, I was listening to Brian Windhorst, who actually interviewed Wembanyama over in France. Some of that's going to drop on lottery night, some of that coverage. Awesome. He was very impressed with the gentleman.
What's really going to suck is if a team that has like an 8% chance gets the ball dropped on them and You know, they have a record of, you know, who's like sitting at the 7th ball drop right now.
I mean, Houston, Spurs, Detroit.
Don't say OKC. Don't.
Charlotte.
Okay, Charlotte.
Orlando.
OKC.
Then OKC,
That would
Indiana,
If OKC with all
Portland,
the players like that.
Chicago, LA. That's going up from the bottom.
I will say this is unheard of. In the next 5 years, we have 23 draft picks stocked up. 23 picks in the next 5 years.
You can't sign them all, though.
But you can select them.
We're in a good
You can select
them. You can trade. We're in a good spot if we do it the right way.
And we got some quality players to build around right now.
I wonder how much longer Popovich is there.
You know what? I think Pop is kind of waiting for the draft, for the ball to drop to see.
Yeah, to see what happens. I actually got to listen. I got to hear Popovich on Monday morning. He eulogized Red McCombs,
That's
who
cool.
the father of professional sports here in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Popovich said very, very nice things. Was very, very respectful of everybody else, which was good.
Yep.
But yeah, he looked like he teared up a couple times during it. So
I've met Pop. He's always been very gracious and
seems to be a
nice.
good dude. What I didn't expect was so I was working. I was
Not a
working
fan
the
of his
event,
politics, but
and I was like, okay, we need to make sure Popovich is coming up. He's a little taller than everybody else. He wasn't that much taller than everybody else.
he's really not. He's a little Air Force point guard, I think. Did he play for Air Force?
Yeah, he did play for Air Force. Coached there for a while, and
You know, Jerry Jones was an offensive lineman, and I towered over him when I met him. So
yeah, and
back in the day.
yeah, and talking about old school Spurs, Avery Johnson also gave
Oh, cool.
Oh,
a nice talk about Red.
I remember when I saw Avery when he came back to the Spurs
Mm-hmm.
the second time, first night out. Man, they'd love him.
Yeah,
Spurs Nation.
yeah.
loved him.
Avery during his eulogy, it's actually posted online somewhere, but he actually talked about Red bringing him back to San
Yeah.
Antonio.
I was there that night that he played after that back, and they were thrilled. What's he doing nowadays?
Private equity, I think.
Oh, so he's completely out of the.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing with the NBA or basketball.
he was
but-
coaching Alabama last time, but he left.
So what else is going on? So second week of XFL, San Antonio Brahmas didn't poop the game away. So yay that.
They play Houston Sunday night at 7.
Ooh.
I'll be firmly ensconced in some sports chair and some sports bar watching the game.
And they're
They're entertaining. I've enjoyed it.
They're 1-1, and Houston's 2-0.
Did you know, I read this too, that right now we lead the league in attendance and viewership.
Yeah.
So the games watched, XFL games have been watched. We've led in ratings, and then we've led in attendance. Obviously, having the Alamo Dome helps.
Yeah, and 24,000 in week 1, and I mean we were on the road to Orlando this past weekend.
Do we play at Houston, or is it here?
I am pretty sure.
I think it's in Houston.
Let's see. Ooh, it's actually on the rundown. Let me see. Scores coming into the week. The Brahmas are in Houston,
In Houston.
playing the Roughnecks.
What's their record?
They are 2-0. Max just said it. Are you paying any attention?
He's not paying attention.
I'm thinking
They're
of the next
2-0.
subject.
They're
I
the
thought you-
Roughnecks.
I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about our team.
Oh,
No, we're 1-1,
yeah, they're
which he
Houston.
also said.
We should be.
Yeah, 1-1, and they have Houston winning by 4.5.
Yeah, Houston favored by 4.5.
I have the attention span of a gerbil, you know that.
Some gerbils. Never mind.
So,
Not going anywhere with that.
so to be really offensive. And,
No,
and disclaimer, how many kids with ADD does it take to change a light bulb?
Oh my god.
No.
Want to get ice cream?
Oh my god.
There we go.
That's not good.
I have another joke for you when we
Off
get
air.
off
Yes,
the air.
please. Yes.
Very much for this one off air.
Off air. Well, the NBA's are going to wrap up. We got less than 20 games or about
20 games. We have a 20 game sprint.
Playoffs are coming, and then baseball's about to start. New rules,
New rules.
bigger bases. Now there's a time clock. Now there's a shift going back and forth. I'm going to look all confused. at the end of the day, they're going to speed up the game, which the game was averaging 2 hours and 19 minutes.
No,
Now,
3 hours.
3 hours.
It was longer than a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
3 hours to speed up the game. Well, college football is also going to speed up the game. My thing is, we're speeding up all these games.
Well,
For what?
Because
no.
people like me have the attention span of a gerbil.
No. I'm actually going to push back on you a little bit.
Okay.
One, average spring training game last spring training, 3 hours and 6 minutes. We're about 3 or 4 days into spring training. Do you want to know approximately what the average game length is? You want to take a guess?
2 hours and 19 minutes.
It's not quite that good. It's under 240. It's 238, 239. So it's definitely an improvement.
That's doable.
What I think is, if you really, really watch it, what I think we're going to get back to is what baseball was 40 or 50 years ago. If you go back and look at the footage from back then, pitchers worked fast. They didn't have all the crap around it. So I think it's baseball back to the way it was.
If you can't see, I'm raising my hand. So let me ask you a question with football, basketball, baseball, hockey. So if we take out, keep up with me. If we take out the commercial timeouts, wouldn't that speed up the game? But it's about money. So let's do it where we're watching the game and the commercials can be run underneath as a ticker, a banner, or something. We can speed up the game.
No, we're going to get commercials, and now that you've made the suggestion, now we're going to get commercials during the game too.
During the game.
They get big money to
I know,
to
but
have
it's about the
your
money. Yeah.
undivided attention on those commercials.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't watch the commercials.
What do you think about jerseys looking like NASCAR with, sponsors?
We knew that was coming. I'm not. To me, it doesn't. I mean, that's been going on. I mean, I've noticed that on basketball, college, football.
I saw it in tennis years and years ago, so I really don't care. It is what it is. You have to pay the bills, and baseball's got to pay the bills. Baseball has shed 10 million fans over the last 20 years. Yeah, that's where their attendance figures are going down. They need to do something. Yeah. And we're going to promote hitting over swinging for the fences with banning the shift. We're going to have more stolen bases with the bases being bigger and the whole engagement thing. We're going to have batters back in the box and not putzing around.
Yes.
Thank you, Manny Machado, for taking a called strike just in protest. Just play the game.
Well, the thing about baseball, you're going to roughly have 75, 80 home games a year. You're a family of four, working stiff. You're trying to, pay your bills. You grab the wife, the two kids, if you go to Arlington, $25, $30 to park. $250, $300 for the tickets. Your hot dogs, your beer. I mean, it's really tough now just to have Joe Schmo, load up the kids, the wife, and drop $500
Yeah, but Joe Schmo's a schmo. I don't care about him.
And why does he have a stiff?
Neither does baseball.
And why does he have two kids?
Why does he have a stiff?
Why did we let Joe Schmo have two kids?
Maybe because of his stiff.
Okay.
Why don't we let Joe Schmo reasonably price him in and let him watch? Maybe that's part of the reason attendance is down. Joe Schmo can't afford it anymore.
I think that's probably a little bit of it, but that's the trend for everything.
Everything's going.
But the difference is Joe Schmo can maybe afford to go to a football game with the wife and kids or a basketball game. But baseball, that's, like I said, 75, 80 games a year.
I get you. I'm with you on that.
That's why I love minor league baseball.
I prefer minor league baseball. Oh, there's some speculation when we might be getting here in San Antonio, a downtown minor league stadium.
We've been speculating on that for years. Yeah, that's coming into fruition. They're looking.
Red McCombs property has bought a property near the Museum of Art,
which I think is an excellent idea.
Yeah,
great idea. That's
near the Pearl.
Yep. You mean we're finally going to get a sports team that's not out in the middle of an industrial complex?
Hey, I just drove by it this morning. It wasn't that bad.
Well, the AT&T set, whatever they call it now.
You mean I thought you meant Nelson Wolf Stadium.
No, I'm saying we're fine. Now you got to listen. We're finally getting a team.
I don't want to listen.
We're finally getting a team that's not in an industrial complex.
Okay. Yeah.
Because right now our minor league teams out in the middle of nowhere, our basketball teams in the middle of nowhere. So let's get a minor league team in the heart of downtown.
Yeah. So, and talking about coming up, we have March Madness coming on up. So,
Yeah, we have to do our picks, our squares,
Our bracket. And
our brackets.
speaking of March Madness, the Big 12 has how many teams? 5 in the top 10? Texas.
Baylor win the other night. I was watching a
Baylor.
little bit of that.
Yeah, Baylor, Texas, Kansas, and who else do they have? So yes, it is. It's Kansas, Baylor, Texas. Oh, I'm sorry, I was counting Kansas State. Big 12's got a good chance this year.
yeah, we're 2 weeks away from March
So
Madness.
we'll work out our brackets. We'll do our final four. We'll have a pick.
Absolutely.
Well, until next week. Anybody else got anything to say?
Nope. I'm good.
We'll see you all next week. Thanks for listening.
Be safe.
Peace out.